Stathopoulos and Josh Phegan come together in an incredible podcast, Grow, Scale, Master.
An energetic approach to drive progress, master skills, build strengths and put the strategy back into rapid business and personal success.
Backed by real-world experience in rapid scaling to playing the long-term game of business, it's the story of all the lessons learned on the journey to mastery.
Be inspired, renew your energy and chase the future with Grow, Scale, Master.
So, Con, one of the most important conversations, and I think that Patrick Lencioni, I think I've got that right. He says that, there is nothing that an organization where everyone who's going in the same direction, rowing in the same direction can't achieve.
Agreed.
And, that's paraphrased. But I think that whole conversation is that sometimes in business, you've got misalignment. You've got people with their oar in, but they're not actually rowing. You've got the people with their oar in, but it's actually rowing the other way.
Yep.
You've got people that just don't have their oars in.
Yep.
You've got someone else is oaring all the way, but in the wrong direction. And this is kind of like a really important thing about how do you rapidly get alignment? And, I even see this in small teams. And I walk in, we don't really have clear job descriptions. And I'm like, there's 3 of you, so just write it out. Just write out what you currently do, read it out to each other and tell me whether or not you think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I think that this is sometimes people are waiting for permission. Sometimes too, people think there has to be perfect alignment. Kylie and I, we talk a lot about this, about having robust debate inside the organization when we're determining strategy, but absolutely aligning in behind each other once we've determined that strategy and we're running it. And I think that's we promote, a bit of disharmony in those strategy meetings for a really clear reason to try to flesh out and get the right discussions. And I think that this is a really important part around what it is that we do. So what's the simplest way that you think that you can get all the business leaders in an organization on the same page?
Well, I don't think it's simple.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's like herding cats.
Yes.
Because people have opinions.
Right.
And people have thoughts and a belief mechanism or a system, right? But in my experience, where we've had the best success was the clarity in the delivery from the leader.
Yeah.
Whether it was me or someone else in our business.
Yes.
It was an absolute commitment to the vision. Mm-hmm. There was robust conversations, pros and cons, negatives, about, what needs to be kind of, fleshed out before there is complete buy-in. And then it's the absolute execution. And you'll see this tomorrow with Super Saturday. You've been talking, we've got our annual launch tomorrow. Every year, we have to resell it. Every year we have to rebuild the vision. Every year we have to recommit as an organization, and people need to recommit as to why this strategy works. So alignment is clarity, vision, genuinely asking for people's opinions and getting in their respect. See, people align once they know what the plan is. Like if we said, and I don't want to use war as an analogy, but I will, right? We've got to take that mountain. Okay, why? Because on the other side of that mountain is freedom for the rest of this country. You're probably going to go and do it, right? And you're going to go out there and you're going to go your hardest. I think what we don't do is we don't make it clear enough as to what we're trying to achieve. Therefore, there's misalignment.
We had a phenomenal meeting with one of our clients on Friday, and we were there, and we spent some time with just their leadership team about really defining the vision for the business of where it goes to 2030 and beyond. And so we had to look at some clarity about what's the purpose of the business. We got really clear on the mission. And one of the simplest things that we actually do is we built a type form, and the type form goes out to all of the leadership team, and they have to fill it in. And then I go and show everyone in the leadership team what everyone in the team thought about the business.
Yeah.
So what did they think that the mission was for the number of sales? What do they think that the size of the property management team is going to be?
You're looking for the gaps.
Whereas the strategic opportunities for the business going forward, where are the biggest opportunities? What are the greatest risks inside of the business? What role do you want to play in the business this year? And what role do you see yourself playing in the business in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
So we send it out to everyone, and then I read all of the answers to everyone on the screen. And you see this massive, wild variety between what we're going to do on sales, what we're going to do in PM. But you know what it actually does is it gets perfect alignment.
Of course it does.
Because at the end of the process,
they've realised that they're completely misaligned.
Well, they go, you know what? So no, it is going to be, I'll make some numbers up. It is going to be 1,000 sales and 1,000 properties under management. And the total sellable value of the business is going to be Y, and we're going to participate in these 3 particular cells. And in each cell, we can have multiple offices, but it's a region, it's a geographical conversation. And we started to get really clear about their business principles, that we don't open an office until we have these things in play. And this would be the ownership structure. And man, like I left that meeting, and I know they left that meeting with like this unbelievable level of energy and drive and passion and tenacity for really pushing the business forward and taking it to where it's capable of going. And to me, that's the easiest conversation, is that literally when there's misalignment, it actually becomes because maybe the vision isn't strong enough.
Correct.
And it's not continually being sold.
Yeah, correct.
So you've got to continue to sell. This is where we're going, man.
Yeah, correct.
We plan to be the number one in every single one of our chosen markets.
That's right.
So what are some of the challenges that you've experienced with growth? Because that happens with misalignment too, that, the old school saying, sometimes the people that get you here aren't the people that are going to get you there.
I think that's probably the biggest one for us, is that we have an incredible leadership team.
Sure.
An incredible partner group. So we have lots of leaders in our business, but it's probably been that we've selected people with high skill, high EQ, high IQ, will run through brick walls, but have not been exposed to a crisis, or haven't been exposed to this element or whatever it might be. So that can be sometimes the challenges of growth. Sometimes you get it wrong too. Sometimes your vision or your strategy, you don't get it right. And sometimes, people fall in love with the concept, and they just kind of hang on. It's like a bad relationship, man. They've just I've got to make it work. It's got to make it work, as opposed to just cutting and running.
Cutting. Yeah.
Cutting.
Yes.
I'm from the West Coast.
Okay, great. And then what about the importance of learning to let go to grow?
Yeah, well, as a leader?
Yes.
100%. How are you going to allow other people to rise and shine? Also, you don't have all the mortgages of all the great ideas. You don't own them all. It's unbelievable when you allow yourself to let go. First of all, you grow. Secondly, they grow. And you'd be amazed, like, Kiara in our business, Rachel and, Riley, Ed, Ned, all of them, they are absolute superstars. And if you see the work that Kiara has done, which you have, it's unbelievable. And the only way that we were allowed to witness that was by allowing her to be able to do it.
Is it important to make sure that you're helping the business to set an inspiring vision? Because people, believe it or not, are not just about top line revenue and
1,000%. You already know. Mate, these are all premeditated questions, Josh. Of course it is.
Yeah.
You have to. Because people want to know in what we do, it's not just about getting a pay packet at the end of the week. Okay? People want to know that they're a part of something. People want to know that they can grow with you. You grow, I grow, we grow, right? People want to be able to understand what role can they play in the development of the business. We've got agents in our business that don't really produce that much. And if you looked at them, they'd be like the GE rule. You'd probably drop your bottom 10% every year. Man, they are the most important people in our business culturally. So I absolutely do believe 1,000% that you have to have a vision that's so big that everyone wants to join and no one wants to leave.
So there's an old school saying, you can't cost cut your way to greatness, but you can reallocate the budget.
Yeah.
Is it important every year as a leader to place a couple of big bets?
Yep. Yes, it is. And by the way, I'm not pro punting. What I'm saying is the bets are, where do you think the market's going to go? What's the strategy and how do you execute that? And what's the actual plan? And how
Super Saturday work?
Well, 100%. Yeah, that's exactly what, that was a big bet.
Yeah, so I love this whole conversation. I say to my team all the time, hey, we're embarking on some big projects at the moment. And I say, hey, look, we haven't done this before, so expect that we're going to fail. There's stuff that's going to go wrong. But when it does, we're going to work out how to fix it.
Correct.
And so that's a really important foundational idea, because really it's the power of planning and the role of really good quality meeting rhythms.
Yes.
And, Kylie and I are already working about, what we're doing for our January meeting with the team.
Yeah.
Because in January we have the big 2-dayer where we reset the vision for the business.
Yes.
And we go and have that conversation. And so, we're talking about where does the business go and what are the things that we do. And, today she was challenging me, what does 2030, what does 2035 look like? So we start really looking at the commitment of the brand and what we're doing for investing in infrastructure and what type of markets we want to play in and what type of work we want to do and how do we expand capacity and how do we grow people. And I think that is a really interesting conversation because, if you can spend the time to get out of the weeds of the day-to-day tactically and move up into the strategy and go above that to the overall vision and reset the vision, then that is actually the chance of what's the type of company that you could become.
Correct.
And you do not have to do anything that you committed to yesterday.
No, correct.
And ultimately you can't rewrite the beginning, but you can definitely rewrite the end.
Yeah, correct. And I definitely think as well, when you're looking at that too, is vision changes. You know, our first year was all about survival. The second year was all about adrenaline. The third year is, we got this down pat. The fourth year is, we don't have this down pat.
Yeah.
You know, consolidate and let's build out some system and process and robust infrastructure. And year 5 is our year 1. That's what we're in. We're in year 1. We're just getting started. So, you know, I think alignment of message, alignment of the messages throughout the organisation. So we start our team meeting every week with our vision and our mission. We do it every single week. And people go, why do you do it every single week? So everyone knows exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Experiences that rapidly shaped you.
You know, I have always been a really big believer that just get the best equipment around you. Like you need to have the best equipment.
Tools in terms,
So you think about our podcasting equipment, the microphones, the headphones. I don't go cheap on any of that stuff.
No, you don't.
Because you've got to be in the zone for that.
Yeah.
And I've always just believed that if you've got the best equipment, you're going to be able to go to perform at your best.
Yeah.
Is it important for people to invest in equipment?
100%. Think about a tradie. You know, you can have a really good drill or you can have a very average drill. What's going to get the job done easier? It's like a chainsaw. You can have, you know, a chainsaw that's, you know, kind of cheap and nasty. I won't name brands, but Azito. Or you can have like a steel or something like that will, you know, cut trees all day long. I think tools are really important. Idea experience that's rapidly shaping me. How do people create new markets and economies? And if you kind of look at it now, like, you know, the wellness trend, ice bath, saunas. I was just up on Darling Street around the corner from your house. He lives in Birchgrove, guys, just so you know. I won't tell him the address, but it's it's a waterfront mansion. It's amazing. Anyway, he doesn't. I'm just joking. But did you see Inner Health or whatever it is? Ice bath, steam room, sauna, you know, so it's amazing how new industries can pop up overnight. I love that.
Something that's changing your view.
I was reading a quote by Shane Parrish, and he said that the people who dominate their fields are doing embarrassingly basic things, but they do them better than everyone else.
Yes, sir. I read the same thing.
What do you reckon about that versus where people are at and what they're doing?
100%, Josh. It's the basics compounded daily and just in continuous improvement. It's so ridiculously simple. You know what? I was thinking about this, our journey, like literally.
Like our journey?
Well, no. No. I'm talking about our journey. But I was actually thinking about it going, man, you know what? Year 1, we're doing X a lot better than what we are doing in year 5.
Yes.
But year 5, we've got all this stuff.
Yes.
And I remembered like replaying that conversation in my head. It was because, we didn't have everything that we had now. So we've made it more complex as opposed to making it more basic.
Or simpler.
That's exactly right.
So but Con, right now, you've got the most relationships you've ever had.
Yep.
You've got the most transactional volume you've ever done.
Yep.
You are in a position that you've got the greatest brand knowledge that you've ever had out in the marketplace. You are in a position that you're surrounded by the most talented people you've ever had around you.
Correct.
And ultimately, you've got everything in the world that you've ever wanted.
That's exactly right. Billie Eilish song, great song.
So why aren't you doing more with it?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No, but like literally, why aren't you doing more of that aspirationally?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. And I think that's exactly the conversation is, what is the gap between where we are and where we can be personally and professionally? Work on that gap.
So it was interesting. I had a conversation of a sales manager recently. He told me that he walked into a business and he said to everyone, great, everyone, targets doubled. Now, what would it take you to get there?
Yeah.
And he said it was interesting because he reckons that about 50% of the team rose to want to meet the challenge.
Yeah, and the other 50% kind of,
no, not for us.
Yeah.
But an interesting conversation. And he will get growth out of that conversation.
He will, 100%.
And that's that old kind of thinking. What do you think about this as a little byline? Make your mood or it makes you.
Yes, agreed.
So do you think that literally in like priming, getting in a state, getting the energy right, making sure that you're performing your absolute
100%.
best?
Mate, everyone has a decision to decide every morning when they wake up what mood they want to bring with them. You could have had a fight with your missus or your partner.
Are they different?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Connie.
Maybe. Whoa. My wife, she listens to this.
I know.
But seriously.
Yes.
It's like I saw a guy today, I was driving to Rouse Hill, right?
Yes.
And I saw a guy, you know when 3 lanes merge into 2?
Yes.
It's traffic. It's bumper to bumper.
Yes.
This one guy won't let him merge.
Yes.
You're like, he can't go anywhere else.
Yes.
He has to merge in. On the horn, but you're like, mate, why did you elevate your state
Yes.
for 3 meters?
Yes.
Was it necessary?
Yes.
He didn't make a decision to decide to be better today.
Yeah. And that's the conversation that you've got to have. And you don't know what's going on in someone else's world, so you can't judge.
No, you don't.
But what is really, really important, I love this as a little exercise as we finish today, just write down anything that you feel is misaligned.
Yeah.
And it's probably causing friction and energy loss.
Yeah.
And go and have a conversation with that person. Say, I don't know if we're together on this on the same page. How would we get it better? What would we do to fix it?
Great.
And so then that way you can stop burning energy and you can start applying it to areas where you're going to actually get a multiplication of that effort.
Yeah.